Welcome to Leading Behind the Scene. I'm your host, Gwendolyn Young, the go-to business and operations consultant for six-figure CEOs who are ready to reach their next level of growth. And I'm ready to share tools, strategies, and tips to help you excel in your business and your life. If you're a service-based entrepreneur, be sure to join me each Thursday. Find me on Instagram, Facebook, and LinkedIn. And don't forget to follow the show on your favorite podcast player so you never miss an episode. And if you love the content, leave me a rating review. Now let's get into today's episode. Hey, beautiful people. Welcome back to another episode of Leading Behind the Scene podcast. I am your host, Gwendolyn Young, and I'm super excited to be back with you. So the digital landscape is ever evolving. And as we approach 2024, it's more important than ever for online businesses to ensure they are organized, efficient, and compliant. Just like you spring clean your home to declutter and refresh, your online business requires administrative housekeeping to operate smoothly and stay competitive in an increasingly dynamic market. In this episode, we're going to discuss the importance of administrative housekeeping for your online business and give you some amazing tips on how to prepare for 2024. So let's first understand the significance of administrative housekeeping. We can all agree that running an online business has its fair of challenges, right? Running a business period. From adapting to new technologies, to keeping up with ever-changing regulations, to managing people remotely, all the things. And so when we think of administrative housekeeping, it is the proactive management of your online business's administrative tasks and records. Neglecting this aspect of your business can lead to various problems, such as legal issues. In the digital world, laws and regulations can change rapidly. Staying on top of these changes is crucial to avoiding legal troubles, fines, or worse, damage to your company's brand and reputation, right? Super important. We want to avoid that at all costs. It also could lead to inefficiency. So without proper administrative systems in place, your business can become inefficient, leading to wasted time, money, and resources. Then there's security risk. Inadequate administrative practices can leave your business vulnerable to cyber threats, data breaches, and information leaks. And we all know what happened with Yahoo. So let's stay on top of our stuff, shall we? Neglecting administrative practices also leads to a poor customer experience. Your administrative issues can impact the customer experience, leading to lost sales, reduced revenue, and worse, poor client retention. And last, but certainly not least, neglect of our administrative processes can potentially lead to financial problems. Mismanaged finances can lead to cash flow issues, making it difficult to invest in growth and innovation. And if we don't have cash flowing and we're not growing and innovating, you might have to close the doors, and nobody wants that. Now that we understand the importance of administrative housekeeping, let's dig into the first step you should take to prepare your online business for 2024. So step one, ensure your organization's legal compliance, right? It's crucial for your online business to stay abreast of the latest regulations and best practices, because failing to do so can lead to costly legal consequences and reputational damage. So here are a few things that we recommend reviewing as you go into the new year. Review your privacy policy. Privacy in the online space is paramount. Ensure that your privacy policy is up to date and complies with the latest data protection regulations, such as the General Data Protection Regulation. It's called the GDPR in Europe, and the California Consumer Privacy Act, called the CCPA in the United States. This includes detailing what data you collect, how you use it, and providing opt-in and opt-out options for your users. Want to make sure you update your terms of service. Want to review and update these to reflect any changes in your business model or offerings that you've had. So make sure they are clearly defined and outline the responsibilities and the rights of both your business and your customers. And make sure to include dispute resolution mechanisms and jurisdiction details if necessary. You want to comply with any e-commerce laws. So if you are an e-commerce business, you want to make sure you comply with any relevant e-commerce laws in your state. This may include providing clear information on product pricing, your shipping policies, return policies, and your consumer rights. So you want to ensure that your checkout process is also transparent and complies with payment card industry data security standards. You may have heard of it as the PCI DSS. Then there's your intellectual property rights. You want to protect these by ensuring that you have registered your trademarks, your copyrights, and patents if you are out here innovating and creating at that level. You want to respect the intellectual property of others by securing the appropriate licenses and permissions for the use of third-party content, such as images, text, and software. Super important, because if you are a person, and I know that this is not my audience, but for all the other people out there, if you are one of the people who are just like running to Google and looking for images and grabbing images, you could potentially be using copyrighted information or intellectual property of somebody else. And so you're putting yourself at risk. So you want to make sure that you're protecting your property and you're using other people's property properly. And if you need images and stuff, there's tons of websites out there where you can go get images to use in your materials. Then there is accessibility compliance. You want to make sure that your website and digital content are accessible to individuals with disabilities. You have to comply with the web content accessibility guidelines to provide a more inclusive and user-friendly experience for all of your visitors. There's payment and tax compliance. So you want to review your payment processing procedures and ensure that they are secure and compliant with relevant financial regulations. So you want to be aware of any local, state, international tax laws to avoid any legal issues related to taxation as well. So if you're selling products, you should be collecting that sales tax in your state and sending it off to your state, the proper person that it belongs to. Just saying. There's licensing and permits. So depending on the nature of your online business, you may need specific licenses or permits to operate legally. So ensure that you have attained all the necessary licenses in your state as well, or whatever your jurisdiction is. Like for me here, I had to get a local license from my village in order to be able to operate my business in this city of my state. So want to make sure that you look into that. And then there's security and data breach response. So please, please, please take cybersecurity seriously. You want to implement robust security measures to protect your customer data and your business. So develop a data breach response plan to address any potential security incidents promptly and responsibly. You want to monitor legal changes. So stay informed about any legal developments that affect your business. Laws and regulations evolve and change all the time. So regularly monitoring those or working with your attorney, accountant, all of the people to ensure that you are compliant. There is your employee and contractor compliance. So if you have employees or you're working with contractors, you want to make sure you're compliant with all the labor laws and tax regulations and any other legal requirements related to employment. So if you are not sure, you want to connect with an HR expert that can support you with that as well. But, you want to make sure, you're sending your 1099s on time. You're collecting W-9s when they first come to work for you. You've got proper contracts in place, all the things, right? So, compliance with legal requirements is not only a legal obligation, but it's also a crucial aspect of maintaining trust with your customers and your stakeholders. As an online business, you operate in a dynamic and ever changing environment, and it's essential to adapt these changes proactively. So help safeguard your online business from legal risk and ensure that you continue to thrive in the digital space while providing a safe and secure environment for your customers. If necessary, make sure you consult with your legal experts to avoid potential legal pitfalls because your girl is not your attorney, okay? And remember, as the digital world continues to evolve at a rapid pace, staying on the right side of the law is not only a legal obligation, but a fundamental element of building trust, reliability, and accountability with your customers and clients. Thank you so much for joining us today on Leading Behind the Scene. Remember to subscribe so you don't miss any new episodes. Share it with someone today. Leave us a rate and review. And until next time, stay compliant. Thank you so much for joining me for this episode of Leading Behind the Scene. I hope you found some encouragement or helpful information today to help move your business and or your life forward. If you have a specific topic you'd like me to talk about or guests you'd like me to have on the show, feel free to send me a DM on Instagram, Facebook, or LinkedIn. I love connecting with my listeners. Also, be sure to follow the podcast so you never miss an episode and leave me a rate and review. I'll see you next week.